Hey guys, get ready for the big game.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Pre-game show
Pre-game
live
show.
from Morocco,
And
State of Gibraltar.
As you can see, we got our legs.
It's Super Bowl Sunday in America. Sending a message. We are so pumped, so psyched. Super Bowl Sunday is upon us. You wait 364 days a year. Everyone's playing the guessing game. It starts. August comes around, September comes around. You watch the season.
First of all, before you're even guessing who's gonna win, you're guessing who's even gonna play.
You gotta say who you gotta be in it to win it. You have some of your favorites out there. Tonight we're here starting right. We're trying to get people hyped, psyched, revved.
Because if there's one night of the year when you should be top of your excitement through the roof, top of the charts, Super Bowl day.
It's Super Bowl day, and maybe we find ourselves here in Morocco, North Africa, Strait of Gibraltar. You might say, well, geez, how are you guys gonna be able to enjoy Super Bowl over there? Different culture, different interests, different different sports even.
They don't even play football.
But here we are. Woke up this morning bright and early. Probably when we woke up for our friends and family back home, it was probably, I don't know, midnight or something.
That's time for you.
Catches up with everyone, doesn't it?
Yep, sooner or later.
So we've been getting super psyched for Super Sunday. For all day, which is our day has been longer than your day.
So we're
to our friends and family.
That's why we're more psyched than anyone else.
Everyone else is probably just like a 6 on psyched, and we're up to like 8 or 9, I'd say, on being psyched for the big Super Day. But it's true, we're red-hearted Americans. We got blood as red as rooster. And we're going to try to do our best. We went to the supermarket, local market, Carrefour. We're going to get a shout out to, I don't know if you can pick that up. Yeah, local market with all the local spices. You can see we have local chips.
Arabic over here.
And so we are going to try to make our Super Sunday, our Super Bowl as red, white, and blue. Trying to bring a taste of.
We're really here trying to bring Morocco a taste of American culture because they've been so generous sharing their culture.
We have learned so much about local customs and songs and words and currency. Spices.
We made a really good friend named Richard.
Richard showed us around the ancient city, took us to all his favorite shops. There's so many handcrafted textiles, slippers.
Everything, really. Everything.
You into the sun. But we're not here to talk about what's happening on the streets of Tangier.
No,
we're here to talk about getting revved, cranked for our big day. We wanted to maybe no one really understands, I don't think, maybe here. And there's always, anytime you're in a foreign place, there's always a little bit of exchange, cultural exchange, give and take. And there's not a lot of receptivity to the big day, the big game.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of people out tailgating. You don't see a lot of people.
No one's waving their banners, jerseys, flags. No one's singing the KickOff songs. Okay, So, like we said, it's T-minus. We're at T-minus about an hour and a half now. So we're clocking in at about it's 11, nearly 11 p.m. over here in Morocco time. Morocco's on permanent daylight savings by order of the king.
That means the length of the day never changes when we got spring forward, fall back.
No, they said one time is good for, one time is all we need in Morocco. And that was a decision, a brilliant move, I think, by our king, the benevolent Mohammed VI, who has been so generous and so kind to his people here in Morocco. That we should thank him for, we have internet.
Yeah, internet, there's great horse farm.
The Royal Stable.
Royal Stables, Royal Yacht Club, they've been by. And all his subjects are so kind.
Right.
Which really, that's how you really know it's a good king.
Right. The people just love him. No one has said a bad word about our benevolent Lord King. Not as receptive to we have to say American football when we're talking about football over on this side of the pond.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Yeah, I know our friends and family back in, I got some friends, I'm a Midwestern originally, I got some friends back, quick shout out to our sponsor Joe and Judy's with Also Food and Drink, Also Illinois, Southern Illinois. And so it's kind of, we were talking about this a little bit earlier today, me and Claire. Scott and Claire's pregame show. You're tuning in live. Hey, and don't forget, if you're enjoying this, don't forget, you gotta like it. You gotta share it.
Share it. Tweet it.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Yeah. Claire and I were talking the Super Bowl. We're gonna get into X's and O's. We're gonna get into running plays, analysis all throughout. While playing time for that. Yeah. Live streaming it. Tune in. Leave it running. So we have, what a matchup. For a long time, the Patriot Brute, the Pittsburgh Brutes. Now, long-time viewers will remember from Scott and Claire's Super Bowl pregame hype show. We'll remember back to 17 years ago. The Super Bowl.
To the day.
It was also Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday 17 years ago. These two teams, we have Tom Brady's New England Patriots and Hollywood, La La Land's Los Angeles Rams. But if you remember 17 years ago, of course, these two teams squared off.
The Tinseltown Dream Team.
Longtime viewers will remember that 17 years ago.
Dancing with the Stars on the big pitch.
They were the St. Louis Rams, just outside of Bethalto. St. Louis is just kind of a little hub outside of Bethalto, Illinois. These two teams squared off 17 years ago, and it was Tom Brady's first first time on the stage.
Little known fact. If it weren't for the fact that the first line quarterback twisted and part of him isn't important.
Had a tendonitis.
Well, part of him isn't important. Tom Brady would never even have played football.
It was just a twist of the knife of fate.
Yeah, he was really little better than a fan in the stands who ran down onto the pitch.
Second rounder out of Nowheresville. No one saw it coming.
They did a show of hands of the fans. Who can play football quarterback? Tom Brady happened to
put me in, coach.
Tossing
I'm
on his way to the bathroom.
Tom Brady, put me in, coach. I remember how it went. That was 2002.
Long time ago now.
Here he is, the all-time greatest quarterback ever.
Longest career running of any running back.
He's in regular
regular Tom Brady.
Yeah. Now we just use it like a verb. You really Tom Brady'd that one.
Yeah,
They say.
Tom Brady'd that one. That means you didn't have any of the credentials and you became the longest running.
The hero and worshipped by thousands of people across the Massachusetts. But I don't think I'm alone as an American. Now I know I'm going to offend some of my friends up there in the Northeast, up in Massachusetts and Connecticut and parts of the tri-state. But aren't we a little tired of this? Joshua,
Do you want to be a Joshua?
we're trying to we're doing the Super Bowl psych kind of thing.
He's one of his moves.
Another thing we should, I don't know if we mentioned it, but we should always be respectful of our local customs and culture. And when you come to a place like Morocco, it's part of the local culture is to not drink. Not,
It's really important, though.
So we want to be respectful to
We're always respectful.
our king.
Thank you, Muhammad VI.
To Muhammad VI, our king,
our
sovereign.
At home we call it a bodega, a deli.
Right.
Here we don't know what you call it, but
they're doing
to
God's work, as they say.
We haven't mentioned Joshua.
We couldn't be.
He doesn't want to be in. He doesn't want to be
in like the limelight. He likes to stick to he's kind of behind the scenes. It takes a lot of. You watch these programs. You go onto the channels and you put on your boxes and you turn on the Roku and you see all the people, the faces you recognize and the big stars but not one of all these shows and broadcasts has a team of dozens working thanklessly many times behind the scenes, so we would be derelict in our if we didn't mention our friend Joshua, who we met in Algeciras. So was it over in...
He's been with us we shook him for about a week, but...
Can't shake Joshua forever.
Yeah, he finds you. And we love him.
No, at this point, he's really become a part of our unit here. HQ, Tangier HQ. We call it, it's the old launching pad for
up in the crow's nest, Joshua.
Yeah. So thanks, Joshua. And I know Joshua doesn't drink, but he's great company.
He is great company.
He's really tied the room together.
Yeah, this is Joshua's touch.
Yeah. Oh, you have one of his paintings. One of his pressed flower paintings.
Yeah. Nice stuff.
Yeah.
If anyone...
We got our chips. We had to make a run out to our friends at Carrefour.
Were we talking about Carrefour yet?
Carrefour is one of the best sort of local. If you really get a taste of kind of the real
how people shop.
Yeah.
It's just a big part of
the everyday. I know you come down to anytime you're on holiday, you go to the big city and you want to see all these sights.
Get your I Love Morocco t-shirt. You want to get your...
But you can't just stay to sort of the tourist traps.
You gotta go off the beaten track. You gotta see how the people live in the places that the tourists don't go.
Take it from that. We're here to celebrate America and it's a big day, Super Bowl.
Yeah, but more largely, we're here to really experience something, to take our feet off the track, to go to the places, to go to the mall, to go to the horse farm. Yeah,
the Royal Muhammad VI horse and golf.
Forgive me, but we feel really strongly
that's how you really get to know. You can't just hang out in
Yeah, really.
You got to get to the shopping. If you can't let you can't just live your whole life following the
on the track. It's like if life was a track. Like.
Mhm. That's a really good way to put it. And sometimes, there's a script. And
there's a script. You're supposed to walk down. You're supposed to run the track and read the script. We say throw it all out the window. Take a sharp left. Take a sharp left.
Name any of your favorite stars of the screen. Some of the greatest acting performances. Small screen, big screen. I don't care. What really sets, like I don't know, a Tom Hardy, apart from, what you guys say, what's different about, between, a Tom Hardy and a Chris Pratt, and that Tom Hardy is willing to take the chances.
Yeah, he
can
off book.
He can get off script. He can.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt, some of these guys like Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, they just mail it in. They get an envelope and they get a script and they say, where do I look? And then they read their thing and then it's just like a clock and like a rat on a wheel.
Yeah.
But then some of the bravest actors of our day, Tom Hardy. What else? Who else is there today? James Gosling, Ryan Gosling. Those are the real brave stars. Are the ones at the end of the day, I know they're gonna say Chris Pratt's hottest thing and biggest star on the screen right now, but I guarantee you, in 10, 20, in a decade and a half, people are going to be remembering Tom Hardy's performance and as Bane and Batman. They're going to be saying, that was brave.
That was brave. That was brave.
Yeah. And it's kind of what we're trying to, in our own little way here.
In our own little way. We would never say that we're stars of the magnitude of a Kieran Culkin, but up here in our own little way with Joshua.
We've had a few other friends we've made, here coming and going.
Yeah, we're just trying to open our horizons, and we hope that you're gonna stick around for the journey. And if you like it, you know what to do: tweet it, share it,
tweet it, share it, tag it, spread it. Yeah. So we're just getting psyched here. You're getting psyched here. What's the T-minus?
We got T-minus 1 hour and 40 minutes. 1 hour and
when the clock is ticking, I have got kickoff fever. I can't.
I've got my foot is shaking. We're getting ready.
You boy, jeez. Okay, so let's get down to the brass tacks here.
Yeah.
Where's the money? Who you got? You going with the upstarts? Or are you going with the old guard? The old guard pages, it's the old hat for them. They've been here a million times. Or you going with the scrappy kids off of East LA, down in Santa Monica Boulevard, Venice Beach. These young, maybe it's too early in the X's and O's, but these upstarts from the West Coast. In tonight's game, the manager is the youngest football manager.
Yeah. Well, last time they went to the Super Bowl, how old was the coach? 7?
He was 16.
7?
17 minus 30. If you do it in the metric.
At any rate, I was surprised to learn that he was 33 years old, because that's how old I am.
And we were just joking.
Well, it wasn't really. It really made me think.
The head coach of a Super Bowl champion competing team
Be the same age
as old as Scott and Claire.
As old as me and Scott.
Yeah. And
I just think we could have gone a different route.
Yeah. It's a feather in anyone's hat to be a head coach of a Super Bowl competitor.
It's a very important position.
Yeah. You say to yourself, I'm 33, I'm 34, I'm 34.
I'm 33.
And I've never coached in this Super Sunday, KickOff Sunday game. So you say, oh, geez, man, what have I been spending my 33 years on? And, you start to wonder, let this be a lesson, I say. Grass is always greener. Because, we say, oh, biggest spotlight in sports, Super Bowl head coach. But here we are with our fans and followers. We're in
our own little corner of paradise here.
Tangier, Morocco. Talking to all our viewers out there.
Yep.
And we're this isn't nothing. What we're doing, we're putting on a show, getting all our, we're psyched. We're trying to tell people how to get psyched.
We're doing because every little bit counts, and we are bringing happiness into people's homes.
Right.
I don't know. Expanding our horizons.
Oh, I don't know if head coach Timothy McVeigh. I don't know if that can't be his name, right? Timothy McVeigh, head coach. He was Buccaneers head coach, and that's John Gruden.
33-year-old.
That was John Gruden, I think. But anyway, we're happy to be helping you. We're helping the viewers get psyched. I know.
Yeah.
Maybe for those people like myself, I was born and raised in outside of Bethalto, Illinois. Just a curveball from
Joe and Judy's.
Just off I-95. And some people in the Midwest might feel a little bittersweet, saying, "Oh, I don't want to root for the Los Angeles Rams. Hollywood, they got stars in their eyes. Tinseltown."
Yeah, Tinselturf.
Tinseltown, biggest. Well, yeah. I used to love the Rams. When they were called, we used to call them the St. Louis Rams when I was a kid. They maybe have a chip on their shoulder and say, they had dollar signs coming out of their ears, and we're gonna move it. St. Louis is a small market, doesn't have the cachet and all the prestige, and out there with Bruce Willis and Chris Pine and
Calkin brothers out there.
Johnny Calkin, Julia Roberts walking down
Laguna Beach
Boulevard, Rodeo,
all of it.
Yeah. St. Louis doesn't have all of that, The Midwest, some parts of the Midwest don't. Different values, of course.
Mm-hmm. But then you sort of wonder, maybe St. Louis should have something.
Well, St. Louis has integrity, and I know maybe in Hollywood, 21st century Hollywood, something like old-fashioned values or integrity, maybe that doesn't appeal to the high-stakes game of sports ownership, but there's something to be said, and I think we could learn a lot from our friends here in Tangier, Morocco, about different sets of values, because they don't drink alcohol.
You don't drink alcohol.
Sometimes you got to change your mindset a little bit, but we live. Claire and Scott and Scott's Super Bowl KickOff PreGame show. You might think, oh, look at those two. They, why am I watching Super Bowl PreGame KickOff show with these Moroccans? I know we know all the local spots, we know the spices, we know the rugs. And they might say, what do I need to hear about some sort of why do I need to listen to these Arab people talk about Super Bowl Sunday? They don't know anything about American values or red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
But no, we're actually from the States originally.
But even if we weren't, which, I mean, at this point, like you said, we're pretty much
running pretty thick as thieves
Moroccan.
over here with the.
But it's an international world, it's global. Think global, act local,
It's smaller. It's.
Who says a couple Moroccans can't tell you about football?
Yeah, the world is getting more and more connected. It's important to stay connected. I read this book the other day called "The World Is Flat" by Thomas Friedman. Yeah. He's a journal editorialist for the New York Times. I sometimes forget I have to say New York Times, the Moroccan Times. And he was saying that as communication technology and infrastructure and development advance, that increasingly our world is getting horizontalizing. We used to think that oh hey, I'm Scott, I'm in Texas, and there's my friend over there, Jamila. One of my friends, his name's Jamila here in Morocco. And we'd say man, they're on the other side, the whole other side of the planet. With this infrastructure that we have today, forget it. The world's flat now.
Yeah.
It's just
sort of like if you had a piece of paper.
It's like calling out your window to your neighbor at the other apartment across the street.
Fold it in half. This is sort of like the world today.
Yep. Swish. Well, it's kind of like, I was reading in Science just the other day.
Science math?
That scientists like Thomas Friedman, they say the world is flat. And, it used to be like, did you hear the news? Christopher Columbus discovers the world is round. Do you remember?
Yeah, big deal. I remember Christopher Columbus.
We figured out Chris Colombo sailed the ocean blue, and now everyone knows that the world is a sphere. Yeah. Turns out new scientists like Thomas Friedman are telling us the world is flat. And how easy it is. We know with satellites and radios that this is Earth's a sphere, but it's saying kind of in a metaphorical science that the world's flat. Okay? So I think to illustrate, I'll use a visual aid to kind of illustrate what Thomas Friedman was talking about in the science of the world is flat. It's like here I am. I'm Jack Fireman and Jack. Oh man, yeah, Jack Reacher. I'm Jack Reacher over here in Brooklyn, and here's Dirk Nowitzki over here in Latvia. And it used to be, that hey, Dirk, I'd be yelling, hey, Dirk! And he couldn't hear me, on the other side of the globe, on the spherical globe. But now the Earth is flat. All you have to do is kind of like, here's, I'll put a little X here for me in Brooklyn, and a little X here for Dirk Nowitzki in Germany. You can see it. You can see it there. And it's like all you used to be like, how am I going to get over to him? I got to go all the way around here and do this. But in new science, all you have to do is just flatten it and connect it. And now me and Dirk are just talking right through the paper.
Yeah. So
we're
a
gonna.
lot of new technologies, a lot of ways to be connected, and it's really important. I'm gonna say it's really important to be connected.
Should we?
Because we live. It's funny because we live in a really connected time. We also live in a really divisive time, really fractured time, and that's part of what we're doing over here as well. You know, building connections, building bridges. We think of ourselves as a bridge.
This Blair and Scott's basically, and
The rugs tell a story.
every rug has a story.
That's what they say. That's an old forever wisdom. Every rug tells a story.
Yeah, yeah. We heard that one from Richard, I think. It's not that. So now, everyone knows Super Bowl Sunday.
Sunday.
Right? One of the funny things about having kickoff Super Bowl fever here in Morocco is that we will be kicking off our Super Sunday, our Super Day, on bright and early with the roosters cawing Monday. It'll be Super Bowl Monday for us. We're gonna call it Super Monday.
First ever Super Monday.
Yeah. You know, it was kind of cognition dissonance here when you talk about Super Bowl. You think, oh, on a weekday, on a Monday, come on, I'm punching the clock on Monday morning. I got a super, you know, if you did it right, you got a super hangover on Super Monday. But we are just getting a kickoff on Monday morning for our super kickoff day.
But if we have a hangover for Super Monday, you know, we're digital nomads, and so we make our own schedule. So we aren't pinned to the clock anymore.
Right.
Which is great.
No work that we're not on anyone's. We're not earning a wage. Mm-hmm. We don't owe anyone our time and labor.
We can go anywhere we want.
Most of the things are closed on many of the days. Sometimes King Muhammad might have a cold, might
have a relative with a cold,
might have to take his horses out, play a quick 9 on his royal golf course. Then they'll shut down most of the city and the country for the benevolent king.
But we make our own schedule, so.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, in large part, the king makes our schedule for us.
Yeah, but if you think back to Scott's, by trade, he was a paralegal.
That's right.
For instance, and that means you're putting in your day. You're clocking your days to the corporate clock. You get in your dress in your suit.
I'm a robot. I'm going into my cube now. I will write on a script and paper punch it and. There's a hanging colon.
Yeah.
Press.
You're like,
spill.
Did you ever know? There's these dogs called
the old spearmint.
Yeah. And you're sort of like that. You're slavering for your paycheck.
Give me my biscuit. Yeah. I'm a working robot.
5 o'clock comes around and your pupils dilate and you're run out the door.
And all you can do is go home and watch Royal Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, everyone, reports to someone.
Hey, I'll take King Muhammad's time over punching the drone clock like in the old cubicle, like we did back in the law firm when I was in the law game and paralegal. Who's going to catch the touchdown, who's going to get the sack. But I know that a lot of our viewers out there are getting psyched and getting ready and having their dip out for big Super Bowl Sunday kickoff. I know that some of them, and this is, if you're American, you know this, one of the big parts of Super Bowl Kickoff Sunday is the commercials, right? Everyone's like, oh, they talk the next day. Some people get around talking the next day. It's like Tom Brady threw the best spiral. But some of our viewers out there, they'll get around the lunch table tomorrow and they'll say, did you see that Geico ad?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that Subaru ad? Did you see that? And they'll talk about the ads as much, if not more so sometimes, than even actual action on the field. Mm-hmm. So Super Sunday is more about, and it can be just as much about the X's and the O's as it is about the who's got the funniest Pepsi Cola commercial, McDonald's commercial. Geico's always.
Best Super Bowl in the world.
Best Super Bowl in the world, best American sport. And then, but that's the great thing about Super Sunday is that it's not just for the football fans. It's for the Geico fans, for the Allstate Insurance fans, for the
animals fans. Anyone who loves animals will enjoy watching the Super Bowl.
Speaking about super ads on Super Sunday, you're right. Budweiser's iconic horses, the Clydesdales marching down, and one of the things, if you're talking about Super Bowl ads, you really have to start with Budweiser. Anheuser-Busch, proud St. Louis company. They really kind of started it all. With Bud Bowl, remember, Bud Light versus Budweiser for all the marbles. You'd have, thick-bodied Budweiser, versus kind of the drinkability of the Bud Light beer. And if you think about it in terms of sport, it's kind of like a game, like, you have the fast team, quick on its feet, like Bud Light, versus the old kind of technically proficient team like Budweiser. And it made for a good matchup, usually. I think that it was pretty close back and forth for a few years there.
Well, is
they stopped playing it.
First question, do you think that has any applicability to our current teams on the roster here today?
Right.
First. And second, what about the Puppy Bowl?
I know there's this new thing called the Puppy Bowl. Not all of us are pet lovers, animal lovers. I know some people like to tune in at halftime. I know this year's halftime show is going to be epic. You have your favorite, my favorite, Maroon 5, coming out of retirement. Yeah. It's probably been 12 years since Maroon 5 has played together.
Well, you know what I always say, any band with a number in it,
right?
Just, sign me up.
Let's think about some of the best bands. We got Matchbox 20, Third Eye Blind,
Three Doors Down, Third Stranger on the Left,
Crimson 3, Three Crimsons. TLC had 3 people in it, which we all remember. So yeah, kind of. It's funny to think about how much there might be correlation between the rise and the quality of bands with numbers in their name, like Maroon 5, Matchbox 20, and the quality of Super Bowl ads with like talking animals and talking babies. It seems like there's some kind of correlation there. It's starting in like early Y2Ks. You start seeing more talking babies and more late 90s maybe talking babies, talking animals, and more really high quality bands that had a number. Sum 41 comes to mind, Blink 182. Some of these, just like first ballot Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bands.
Yeah. And no matter their number might be really high in the number alphabet, but they are tier 1 as far as I'm concerned.
A number 1 in our book over here. So yeah, it's been a while since the Super Bowl has had a band with a number in it, I think.
Well, I guess that bodes well for the advertising.
Right. They should try to maybe some of the advertisers are going to sort of piggyback on the enthusiasm around Maroon 5 number-based bands.
Bringing in some more of the talking pigs, bringing in some more of the babies, dancing babies.
Yeah, get really back to sort of like when Maroon 5, last played, with the old band, when the band was, top, when they were touring Nashville, Pittsburgh, selling out arenas in Dayton and Tulsa. That's when you really love seeing a commercial with like talking babies, and I hope we get back to that.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be like a
Even
throwback,
just like,
retro.
retro. Yeah, people really love retro these days.
Yeah, that is a
so
1993 Missouri Tigers hat.
It's vintage.
Proud
supporter of vintage Tigers.
This is, what do you got on this? I think this might be an 87 Joe and Judy's. So we are all about vintage. We love.
It's got the appeal for. You know what's great about vintage and retro is that it's got the appeal for the older generation. The baby boomers, because they can remember.
Right.
Hopefully.
You can tie in. It's sort of like
some of them can have.
We were talking about building bridges between cultures and nations and belief systems. Sometimes it's also important to build sort of to facilitate a bridge between the young and the old. I know everyone's got an opinion about this. Who's a millennial? Who's not a millennial? Are we all millennials now? Am I a millennial? And I didn't get the Twitter shout. Some people say, what, you're 33, 34? You ask a 40-year-old, they'll say, oh, you guys are millennials. It's not an identity that, we don't want to, we don't like to be labeled.
Well, yeah, we just don't like to be labeled.
Yeah, so we don't, but, sometimes people like to play the label game. But we have to reach out to our, there's Generation X, Generation Y. We have to reach out to them. There's the greatest generation, and hats off for their service.
Yeah, please and thank you.
Boomers, of course, we wouldn't be here without, of course, the baby boomers, probably the greatest, most greatest advancers of promoters of American culture ever.
They really were like a steamroller of American culture.
Yeah.
They just,
the baby boomers took this country and took it up
the 20th century.
And took it to the top.
All the way, touchdown into
that was
Y2K.
Yeah, that was a Hail Mary pass, and it was a fourth quarter miracle.
Quarter, right in the pocket.
Yeah. And so hats off to the baby boomers too, and Generation X too.
Generation X.
We remember them.
Yeah, we love. It's great.
I
have a brother who's Generation X.
That's right. Yeah, I have an older brother too, but I'm sure there's Thomas Friedman out there, Malcolm Gladwell, Steven Pinker saying all these things about, Generation X is 39-year-olds to 51-year-olds. Just timestamp it. We're filming this in 2019. I just say Super Bowl 53. We're filming this during the 53rd year of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, you have your Milton Friedmans out there telling you when the baby boomers started and the Generation Xers started and the millennials started. But, like we said, we're just, it's good to be able to sort of go off the script a little bit and be sort of, we only speak one language, and that's English. We're monolingual, but it's important to be able to speak, and I feel like sometimes I can almost speak 2 or 3 languages when I talk to a baby boomer or even
a greatest generation.
Greatest generation, you have to be multilingual, and of course the people younger than us.
Yeah,
and there's our younger fans out there. We're thinking.
And some languages are just languages of the heart. And so we can
the
speak
Esperanto
of
the languages.
Intergenerational, interspatial, and so we can speak to a Moroccan, and I feel like we can say, to one of our fellow Moroccans here, even though we don't speak Arabic.
Yeah, we can say hey, how was your day?
Yeah.
And
communicate.
We can say.
We mean no harm.
Yeah. When you say.
That's just a smile.
When you say, yeah. Then that transcends You know, we don't speak French, we don't speak Arab, we don't speak Spanish. We speak English,
American
but
English.
which is slightly different. Than British and South African. We're in Africa, and there's several. One of the official languages of Africa is English, so it's not like. So it's official that when we speak, we're speaking an official, one of the many official languages of Africa. But you say you're sort of run-of-the-mill, sort of rank and file Moroccan person walking around the Casbah, the market, and you say, hey friend, how was your day? Man, isn't Muhammad the sixth great? And you'll be speaking that in English, and you know they'll understand it because you mean it, you know, because you really want to know.
Yeah.
And as long as you're speaking English and you're speaking from the heart, most people will.
They'll know. Yeah, they can. Yeah, and they'll want to talk to you.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's very.
Yeah.
Outgoing.
Yeah. And if you mean it and you're speaking in English,
it's important to know. Sometimes people speak to you and they'll speak to you in English, and they'll speak to you in French, they'll speak to you in Spanish, they'll speak to you in Arabic, and it's when you know they mean it when they're speaking in English. You know that they really want to make a connection with you, and that's when you can really build.
Yeah, that's when you start to take down the walls.
Yeah, yeah. When they meet you halfway and they speak English to you, you know that's a person you can rely on and trust and maybe pursue.
Yeah, that's really well put.
Yeah. So we're getting psyched here. It's Super Bowl Sunday, Super Kickoff Day. We want you to stay here. I know you're going to be flipping the channels. We all do Super Sundays, a million things to watch. Puppy's Ball, super commercials. We are going to be here kickoff to kickoff, halftime, in the mall. They got Domino's Pizza. They got Pizza Hut.
You got skinny jeans.
Yeah. So yeah, we are gonna be. You're gonna flip the channels. We know it. Don't worry. I know you're gonna like it and share it. That's all that matters. We're gonna get hits and likes and shares. We are about T-minus half hour till kickoff.
Half hour.
So
on the nose, on the button.
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back. And, you know, flip around, but just know that we're going to be here for you. Provide an expert commentary on X's and O's, football, first quarter, second quarter, Maroon 5 quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, MVP quarter, Champions quarter.
You know what you love about the Super Bowl?
I mean, where to begin?
You got... Normally you have 4 quarters, but on the Super Bowl you have as many as there's fun in a day.
Hours in a day. And we have a lot of hours today. We were 7 hours, 6 hours faster than the rest of Super Bowl Sunday. So, quick break. You know, go bathroom break. 5 minutes in. We have got a real pitchers duel so far. Defense is the name of the game. Add little X's and O's for fans out there watching.
Yeah. We saw a real turnaround on the ball with the.
We are watching it. We're here in the HQ. We have split screens. We have 2 screens. We got game on this side, game on that side. Quick analysis.
Oh
man, smash 'em ups.
You can hear
you got the crack smackles.
Cracking. John in the dome.
They're gonna when they're writing the story of this one, 20 Super Bowl 63 comes around, they'll say, remember 10 years ago anniversary, it was called the Drone in the Dome. We got some fresh new apps. That was a like a real roller coaster ride of an advertisement
I got my
session.
phone right here. I don't know about you guys, but
We're going straight to the top floor. Ridley Scott's got a new Taken 5, and Turkish on board first class Turkish Airlines, Taken 5, Ridley Scott, real pulse bender, I think.
Taj Mahal, please.
We're connecting, making bridges. One thing we're doing is connecting. One of the things that apps allow you to do that we know is to connect. So we're seeing that as a theme tonight in the ads is connecting. We'll keep our finger on the analysis going forward.
Meanwhile, the boys are throwing the ball again.
Hot route.
Oh.
Quick update. I really wanted to go on record here, going back looking at the footage. I made a bit of a blunder earlier. I confused Timothy McVeigh with the Rams head coach. I know that's a mistake. Not Timothy McVeigh, of course, the number. I always confused Timothy McVeigh with John Gruden. I don't think I'm the only one, probably.
Yeah, not the only one, not the same.
Former coach of the Buccaneers, of course. Probably Super Bowl 47, 43. Just want to quick
I'm sure it'll help a lot of other people out there. And I just want to know, did anyone catch Pitbull weatherproofing for your car and a pet bowl? Let your pets use
NSF approved pet.
Now what I'm wondering is, seems like they should make a travel bowl for pets.
Well, for all weather travel.
Travel bowl, eating comfort on the floor of the car.
And we need NSF to write off on this one.
Yeah,
we got a shank. We got a shank here. Shanked it from about 35 yards.
Who's got
No, this is when you really miss someone like Adam Vinatieri, you know. Adam Vinatieri, of course, legendary, probably MVP of Super Bowl 17 years ago. Oh, well, the beer battles have begun. We just saw it. We all just saw that one. What a powerful, when I said in the pregame, Anheuser-Busch, the king of Super Bowl commercials.
First blood, I would
call it. They drew it from the first, you always have Miller, you always have Coors, you always have Bud, always going each other's necks. Who's going to be the clever one? Who's going to do the best? And clearly, Anheuser-Busch Bud Light is out to it. That is going to be hard to come back from. So we just had our first fired of the Coke-Pepsi battle, the legendary Coke versus Pepsi.
And Pepsi shot first,
Pepsi.
But it was almost like Coke. They're doing this thing.
Is it retro? What is it?
It was pan retro, super present, but they're doing this thing where they act like the other one is saying the bad thing about.
It's double on switchbacks. Now I'm beginning to think. Speaking of, it's been one of those retro years. We're thinking about 2002 again. We're thinking about the last Patriots Rams Super Bowl. We're thinking about animals and commercials. I got a vibe from that Pepsi commercial. It reminded me so much of the Bud Light commercials it was so popular, everyone loved it. We would say like, hey, what's up? You call your friend and say, what's up? I need to say, oh, I'm just drinking Bud Light, what's up? Remember that?
What's up?
What's up? You answer the phone, you say, what's up? And then you say, oh man, that's so cool, I'm drinking Bud Light. So maybe we're getting back to some of that kind of commercial too, with this whole kind of revisions, Maroon 5, kind of Rams, Patriots. What's up? Kind of Bud Light attitude.
What app do you think this is going to be?
Oh, this looks like a really good app.
This is a bit retro. This is just like what we were talking about, like future meets present.
Oh, it's all bridging the generations.
We
got
the future cars.
Techno cars, cells.
It's kind of like it's in a dream. You go up to the house and then.
There's a little bit of like a Paul Newman, Robert Redford dynamic going on in that commercial.
It was choking the whole time.
It was a choking commercial.
Audi.
Look out for Audi. This is, Audi is running with the bulls now, running with the big dogs. Audi is no more You used to think, oh, you got the big three: Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, and now you have Audi coming in, stepping up, playing with the big boys on the biggest stage, biggest platform, biggest stage of the year, Super Bowl Sunday.
You know, a lot of the car companies here in Tangier name their cars a name like Duster.
Brat. Did you just see that?
Yeah, future of advertising, here we come.
What did I just see? What did I just see? We have Bud Light building a universe here of,
merging with the Game of Thrones, the most successful fantasy franchise of all time.
All time.
Biggest beer, biggest fantasy franchise of all time. Great time to be a digital nomad.
Real pitchers duel tonight on the field. But on the bright side, just stay hyped. We got T-minus 14 minutes of game time till Maroon 5. We got some points on the board. Shutout is over. New England's up by 3. Wanted to make a quick comment. We just saw one of the most poignant commercials I have seen.
You saw I was wiping a tear out of my eye.
And it couldn't have been more perfect for kind of the tone that we wanted to set about building communities.
Not only communities building, but building bridges, building connections, building rope courses, and zip lines, basically anything that connects one thing with another.
And we can kind of see now that, like, we were talking earlier about some of the scientists like Thomas Friedman are coming up with these new ideas about flatter world,
really big new
horizontal
ideas.
world, big kind of game-changing ideas. And we're talking about infrastructure and how that helps us connect. Now we're saying like Google is helping us know that, helping us connect across.
And we hadn't really thought of that language is one of the biggest connectors.
Right. And we mentioned earlier in the pregame show that, when you speak from the heart, that's really a universal language. If it's English or not, you understand it when it comes from the heart. And one of the things that's good about our infrastructure today is Google is helping everyone speak from the heart. Google sort of translates what's in your heart, gives it and puts it out there for others to be able to know what's in your heart. And so Google can sort of provide that platform for us. It knows when we're expressing gratitude.
It's really special. It's really special. And we thank you, Google.
Yeah, we did not thank Google.
I think we should all take a minute and thank Google every day.
Quick check-in. We are on Super Monday here, 1:30 a.m. in Morocco time. Hanging in there. Just
in for the long haul.
It's
still sunny over there in Atlanta, but
we are just hanging on.
Who are they?
Tony, they're doing the last time these two teams won the Super Bowl. We were talking about 2002, 17 years ago. Everyone's going to start these comparisons, before and after, kind of where are they now, kind of pictures.
I could make heads or tails of it. Some old men, some young men, white men in ties.
You've seen one, you've seen them all. What's really keeping us going here in Morocco is we've seen football action. We've seen some of the best commercials we've ever seen. Great on-field action. Great commercial action. I know what's keeping me. I know you got a case of the odds, but I'm gonna say two words. I'm gonna say 2 words, and you're gonna be doing jumping jacks. Maroon 5. We are this close to Maroon 5, so everyone just needs to just put on a seatbelt.
2 in the morning where you are.
Wherever maybe it's Tuesday.
Maybe you're in China.
It's already Tuesday in China, and you're already waking up. You're waking up for tomorrow to watch. We're getting up early in China, so you set your alarm clock in China, and you are getting psyched for Maroon 5, and we are gonna live hype that halftime show.
Shrinking the world with us.
With Maroon 5 and Google, and we're the world. We are watching Maroon 5 right now, and the city of Atlanta has not seen anything like. I think Jim Nantz said it best. Jim Nantz, longtime broadcaster, Super Bowl broadcaster, says this is the biggest moment in music of the year, and he was not exaggerating. And you have people like Maroon 5 come out on and the biggest stages of the year, Big Boy, and we are moving and shaking along with the entire 100,000 people in Atlanta watching this live, and we are enjoying every second of it. Maroon 5 is signed, sealed, and delivered as promised. And the nation of Morocco is not knowing. While Morocco sleeps, Maroon 5 is just putting on a clinic in how you just perfectly feed a crowd. You give that reciprocal kind of feedback with a crowd, an audience, a performer, and an audience. And it's just a real pleasure to see. We're at about 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, the roosters are crowing. Legendary game. Gonna go down as the most exciting game in the history of Super Bowl 53. We ran the numbers. Had Joshua run the check, do the check on Stats History and found out this is in Super Bowl history the game in which the score has been the closest for the longest amount of time. If you're a fan like we are of X's and O's kind of football, not like the highlight reel, not Tinseltown kind of football, like the X's and O's, the nitty gritty. Then this is the Super Bowl for you. You're going to want to tune in to Super Bowl 53 live when it's happening and watch it. It's going to go down in history as the most excitingly close game that's ever been played. I want just everyone to be psyched and hyped about as it happened. It's still going on. Non-stop closeness of the game is just we are watching it unfold. People talk about it, they'll talk and talk, and they'll say this was the one. They'll be teaching lessons on how to play football, how to play close football games when they talk about Super Bowl 53.